Okay, so in today's lesson, lesson 12, we are going to be reading expressions in which letters stand for numbers. So today we're going to basically do the opposite of what we did yesterday. Yesterday we were given words and we needed to write it as an algebraic expression. Today we're going to be given algebraic expressions and write them as words. So if we look at the first one, we see this, and I'm not even going to read it because if I read it, it's going to give me some words. So we're going to be using some of those keywords from yesterday. So we're actually going to have a variety of ways to write each one of these. So the first one, I will read it now, says A minus B. That's how I would read it. So I'm going to write A, the word minus, and then B. So that's one way we can write this. Some of the terms we used yesterday for subtraction included difference. So I could say the difference of A and B. And just like division, when we have division or subtraction, the answer word tells us the order in which we're doing it. So if I'm saying the difference of this and that, it means I would be doing the first one minus the second one. We could also write this as B less than A. Remember yesterday we said that anytime you have something less than something else, that means you're doing minus that first one. Okay, we can also do A decreased by B. Okay, all different ways that we can write the same thing. And you don't have to write all of these. You may be exposed to all of them in a multiple choice type situation. So I'm just going to write a couple for each from now on. So the next one, x, y, right next to each other, means that we're multiplying those two things together. So I can say x times y, x multiplied by y, the product of x and y, and there are more, but we'll just leave it at that. So the next one starts to bring in two operations. We have 4f plus p. What that means is I'm multiplying the 4 and the f together and adding on the p. So I can say 4 times f plus p. And now whenever I redo this, I can replace the times with any multiplication word. I can replace the plus with any addition word. So for example, I can say the product of 4 and f increased by p. It still follows order of operations, which is important to do. So again, I'm just going to give a couple for each. There's plenty more that we can do for these. The next one has d subtracted and then b to the third power or cubed. So I can write it as d minus b cubed, d decreased by b cubed. I can write b cubed less than d, and so on. Now the next one involves parentheses. So I want to make sure that I'm using words that will make sure I'm doing what's inside the parentheses first. So remember, a number right next to a parentheses means multiplication. So I can say 5 times the difference, which is an answer word for subtraction, the difference of u and 10 increased by h. Okay, so that's one way I can say it. I could say 5, the product of 5, the product of 5, and the quantity u minus 10 increased or added to or increased by h, and so on. There's so many different ways that we can write a lot of these. This is just to expose you to a couple of different ways. The last one, remember we have a fraction. Remember that is a division symbol. And also we have parentheses. So I could write this as 3 divided by the sum of D and F, which tells me that I would have to have an answer to D plus F first before I could divide. I could say the quotient of 3 and the sum of D and F, or the quantity of D and F. Any of these things are words that explain the algebraic expression written here.